think about this. If somebody wanted to make, Sam, a six-figure passive / residual income in traditional network marketing, if you had to take a guess how many people they would need in a perfect structure,
you would have to have a comma in the number of people that you actually needed.
you could technically do it with 5, but realistically 10 to 20, you could go out and make a six-figure passive income yearly. Residential solar, commercial solar, home security, whole home water filtration system, and the most powerful alkaline machine. These are all high ticket commissions, high overrides.
With 20,000 people in this company, 10,000 on the left, 10,000 on the right, residual income, I can make $250,000. So
A month.
all I need is 10% of what I've already done to make 3 times what I've max made.
Yep.
What's up, everybody? Today we're going to go live podcast with the JC, as I call him, Juan Carlos Rangel, talking about the industry of network marketing, how it's going to collide with the high ticket sales and direct sales industry. So we'll just jump right into it. Most importantly, first question I have for you, JC, is this. What do you mean when you say we're going to evolve the industry of network marketing? We're going to turn this thing upside down. We're going to make it brand new and rebuild it all over again. What do you mean when you say that?
Well, I love it, man. And I love that we're diving right into it, bro. So, and I know that we're going to have time to get into our stories and how we kind of crossed paths a little bit and finally got to work together now. But yes, what I mean by that, Sam, is like you, I've been involved in the industry a long time. I got started in 2001 and I've been active most of those 23 years. I took like a 4-year break to do real estate, but outside of that, I've been doing network marketing. And I've seen, there's ups and downs, but one of the things that we see lately is we see a couple of things. Number one, for the last 4 years, the network marketing industry has been on the decline. There was a time that for about 5 years, it was up every year. Now for the last 4 years, what happened? It's kind of like gas-powered vehicles. In 2017, gas-powered vehicles hit their peak sales and they've been declining. Well, network marketing's been declining too. And to some people, that's worrisome. To us, because of the evolution of network marketing that we're creating and direct sales, for me, it's actually a blessing in disguise. And don't get me wrong, that doesn't mean that I wish the industry bad. Absolutely not. The industry is going to still be around, but it's not as easy. It's not what it used to be.
Right.
And you look at companies like Roland Fields just announced that they went to an affiliate model. They've been around, I don't know, probably 20 years, hundreds of thousands of distributors. And they just told everybody, all of y'all that spent so many years building a business, it's time to get out. It's a 2-level affiliate now. So what do you think happened to some of these people's checks?
They go down or go away.
They're gone.
And you know what? One thing to add on that is this. You got a lot of owners right now who are finding ways to eliminate the so-called legends of their companies who are not really building anymore, but they're getting 5, 6, and 7-figure checks. They're trying to find ways to eliminate those checks, and a lot of them are doing it illegally and finding ways to cut that person away from the money that they actually earn.
Right.
And so what I'm finding is that these days there's no real residual income or security, in network marketing because these companies they're cutting back and they want to turn everybody into employees and they want to streamline the system and go direct.
Right. Exactly. So you see a lot of these changes. And so you look at what you just mentioned, you look at the decline and you look at so many companies doing that and also switching to affiliates. Why? Because they already have the customer base.
Right.
If they cut off all the commissions, it's less work for them. It's less overhead for them. Yeah, their volume is going to go down some, but overall, the juice is worth the squeeze. So the industry needs something. And here's the thing, though. The network marketing has always been 99.9% of network marketing companies. You rely on other people, not only on other people, on a lot of people for a decent check. You cannot make money unless you build a team.
Exactly.
So when I say the next evolution in network marketing is high ticket sales combined with team building, overrides, and residual income. That's the evolution, because here's the deal. In 2019, I made a decision and I started working the decision in 2020. I said, I'm going to get involved in high ticket sales where I can make $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 per month off my own efforts without relying on a team. My pay leg left, my key leader left, they left to another company, whatever the case may be. I don't want to rely on that. So and here's the thing. Sometimes people say, oh, in network marketing, this is network marketing, it's not sales. BS, man. You're selling an opportunity. It's still selling, man. So if you could learn how to build a business, how to sell people the vision, you could learn how to sell a product. But because of the team building overrides and the nature of direct sales and network marketing, because of that, here's what you also have. You don't have to sell. If I introduce a Sam Bean, if I introduce a Ignacio Padilla, if I introduce a Brenda Nava, right? Or some of these key people on our team, right, and they're closing sales, and because it's high ticket sales, that equals high commissions. Guess what it equals? Also high overrides.
Right.
So I could get in here and say, okay, I'm not going to sell that much, but I could still do what I did in network marketing, introduce a couple folks. And you're meaning to tell me with what we've got, think about this. Here's a bombshell here. You want to make 6-figure passive income? You know how many people you need? I'll ask you, you're an expert. If somebody wanted to make, Sam, a 6-figure passive / residual income in traditional network marketing, if you had to take a guess how many people they would need in a perfect structure to make that, what would you say that number is?
You would have to have a comma in the number of people that you actually needed. It's an impossible number for most to actually hit.
Right.
And that's what I've actually built my life around, was helping people create residual income.
Yes.
So, but that's also one of the things that made me fall in love with this model, because the amount of people, remember I had groups of over 200,000 people at one time when I was in coffee. So I'm looking at the fact that I never made $100,000 a month residually in that company. You know, made as much as 80 grand a month residually. But with 20,000 people in this company, 10,000 on the left, 10,000 on the right, residual income, I can make $250,000. So
a month.
All I need is 10% of what I've already done to make 3 times what I've maxed made.
Yep. Now check this out on the override side. Passive income, the income we make off of other people's efforts.
Right.
Historically, and you could bring, I don't care, you could bring the companies that from the 70s to the companies that are launching in 2024. You want to make a 6-figure passive and residual income in traditional network marketing, as you mentioned, you need a comma size team, over 1,000 people in a perfect structure. There's no perfect structure, so you need multiple thousands.
Right.
You know how many people you could do that with here?
I mean,
10 to 20. You could technically do it with 5, but realistically, 10 to 20 producers, you could go out and make a 6-figure passive income yearly, right? Without you having to sell. Now, what if I sell and I could add an extra 6 figures a year? Now I'm making multiple 6 figures because I'm making 1 sale per month. Personally, 1 sale per month. In addition to that, I got a team of 10 to 20 people that are excited and building a business. That has never been done before, and the industry needs a change. And I'll tell you another reason why it's struggling the way it's struggling lately. Because if you look back 20 years ago, even 10 years ago, you didn't have the competition of the gig economy.
Right.
You want to make $1,000 a month? There's a lot of ways to make $1,000 a month. They say there's 1 million ways to make $1 million. I believe that. Well, if there's 1 million ways to make $1 million, guess how many ways there is to make 1,000? Even more. You could go drive for Uber. Now, I'm not saying that everybody wants to do that, but that's an option. You could go and deliver food. You could go and do so many things. Back in the days, you wanted a side hustle. Network marketing was the number one side hustle. It's not the case anymore. So the industry's been going backwards. Also, people want to become influencers. Social media has, something to do with it. People want to become influencers and stuff and grow their channels and then sell products and just make high commissions. So we've solved that. You don't need all of these people, and you don't need anybody to make a full-time income. We've got people in this room because we got the convention this weekend. We've got people in this room that make, imagine this, the average commission is $7,000.
Right.
We've got people in this studio right now that have made up to 5 sales with our company in a week. You multiply that by $7,000. I won't tell you what that is, but all you got to just take out a calculator.
$35K.
Exactly. There you go. Off their own efforts, bro. Is that something that's worth learning?
Well, watch this. I actually have a college student in Maryland, Sarah George. You know her.
Yep.
And she's a sophomore in college. She's done 6 deals over the last 2 months. She just got paid, I think it was 14, just shy of 15 grand on one of her deals in Maryland.
Right.
As a college student.
Man. And the thing is, there's so much out there, right? So you got, when I talk about high ticket sales, we have 4 different verticals currently. So what's interesting is some people might be looking and say, well, they're talking about high ticket sales only. No, there's a residual there's 4 high ticket products and there's 1 residual product. Right. Eventually, it'll be a couple residual products, but there's a residual membership that, by the way, you've seen a lot of comp plans, Sam. I would put that residual comp plan, the dual team, also known as a binary, 9 generations check match, coded fast start bonus against any network marketing compensation plan in the history of network marketing. Pound for pound, nobody's going to pay better. Smarter, comp plans drive behavior with the behavior for duplication. Right. So you got 4 high ticket products that you can sell, that your team can sell and consume, that you override for big money fast. Also for the opportunity where I don't need a team. I don't need a team to rely. Because how many times have this ever happened to you where you build a team? All of a sudden, you know, I know people, this happened to me. 20 grand a month, let's say. One key leader, let's say, leaves. Yeah. That 20 grand goes down to 4 grand from 1 month to the next.
Yeah. When you're dealing with a binary, first of all, when we came up back in the day, one of the first companies I made the most money in had a binary only. Right. No residual, no nothing. And so remember, in the binary, it takes 2 teams to actually make your money. Yep. But it only takes 1 team to go away for all your income to go away. Yes. And I actually had a guy who ran away with 1/2 of my business because I had a large Philippine group, and he took that group to another company, and then my whole entire income went away. Wow. Right. And so I ended up going into real estate for a little while, and then came back into the industry, but it crippled me.
Yes, yeah. That's unfortunately the way it works.
Now watch this though, real quick. I'm not a solar pro. I'm not DJC Rangel, right? And so, but I have a certain skill set that makes me dangerous.
That's right.
And so I understand residual income. I said, you know what? My people are not solar pros, but what we can do is we can come in and we can build a residual income while we're learning the industry of solar. And that's the thing. It'll give us time, buy us time by doing something that we do know how to do while we can learn what you are an expert at.
Correct.
And so that's the thing that gave me the comfort, you know, of knowing that it's not about me. My team can actually win while we're growing the company.
I've experienced that too. And I've got friends that have experienced that too, where they were making a lot of money, key team leaves, and it's gone, right? Especially the old comp plans, right? They didn't have the, let's say, the check match bonuses, or they didn't have other verticals. They were very, very vulnerable, right? Again, but at the same time, needing to build a big team when the industry is in a decline, where people believe less than they did before, learning how to build a career path, a skill that where you can make a full-time income off your own efforts. Your kids are not going to suffer because of what you've learned within the company, the products, 4 high-ticket sales products. I could go and make 6 figures. You're telling me I could go make 6 figures without needing a team? Oh, and by the way, if you want to build a team, which most people do, I'm building my residual income and my passive income. There's a passive and a residual income, right? Again, it sounds cliche to say, Sam, but it's never been done before. And I ruffle feathers. I go on social media, I say, and I ruffle feathers. And guess whose feathers are ruffled? The traditional network marketers that see that their teams are declining. They see that the industry is declining, but it doesn't serve them for this message to get out. Right. And I'm not trying to ruffle feathers. I'm simply calling it like it is.
You're just doing business. First of all,
right.
One, when you talk about the industry network marketing, you know, it's kind of like the stock market. You know, you never see anything go straight up and continue to go straight up. You know, it's always going to come down and go up, and it's going to correct and go back up. And when you look at the industry right now, it's in a point where it needs a major correction because people in the industry and network marketing are distracted.
Yes.
You know, for everybody who's in a company, is somebody pitching them something, whether it be crypto, whether it be arbitrage, whether it be investing, whether it be Uber, Airbnb arbitrage, whether it be all the stuff that they got going on. Yep. Your whole entire team is distracted.
Yes.
And so when you are a professional network marketer who has a large team, that team goes away, right?
Yep.
And so remember, by the time you also get to the top of a network marketing company, you actually stop doing the work that gets you there. So you forgot how you even got to the top. So replenishing the bottom is something that you not only don't want to do, but it's something most of them can't do.
That's right.
And so you become a threat, a legitimate threat to the entire industry. So yeah, they're going to push back on you just like the cabs push back on Uber.
That's right. No, yeah. I agree with it. And, you know, you talk about some of these services, right? Like that people are being pitched, Airbnb courses and all kinds of stuff. And when we talk about, I want to clear something up because when we talk about high ticket sales, there's been a lot of high ticket affiliate companies or high ticket, mainly affiliate companies that come out and they say, we're high ticket. And they sell a $5,000 course that's not even worth $500.
Right.
I want to make something clear. That's not what we do. We sell, for example, residential solar, commercial solar, huge commissions, home security, water filtration systems, whole home water filtration system, and the most powerful alkaline machine for the cleanest water that somebody could drink. These are all high ticket commissions, high overrides, right?
Yeah.
Then the last component is the residual. So when you're building a team, there's a residual membership on the back end that pays a very powerful, as we mentioned, residual income, right? So anyways, I want to clear that up because I got some people that pitched me recently. Oh, this guy that created a company back in the days that was very successful, he's got this high ticket product. And I'm like, bro, you're going to pay $5,000 for a course. And from what I could see, it was like a course of a bunch of things that you could search on YouTube and find how to do.
Exactly.
They're just putting something together so they can pay big commissions. That's not what we do. We really provide value to the customer.
Honestly, like I told you, what we give away for $50 a month, we literally can sell for $500 a month, $5,000 a month, easy. And because everybody who's watching this podcast right now, they're all social media junkies anyway. So from Instagram to YouTube and everything else they're watching, they see, oh, be your own bank, IULs, insurance, and they teaching how to do that when you can learn how to do that online. Oh, we're going to help you fix your credit. Show you how to teach your business industry. Oh, we're going to show you how to give you trust. And they're charging $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 for these things. And people have access to those things for $50 a month.
Right.
But that's why also people who are coming to the company probably won't respect it because it's only $50 a month.
Right.
It's almost free.
Right.
And anything you get almost free or free, you take for granted.
Correct. Very true. And that leads to another question that you and I were having off air. And you're wearing the shirt, right? The Smart Money Club, right? So one of the questions that you asked me was, what is it that you guys are doing to fix a problem? Because people like you with your pedigree, you see the comp line, you see the opportunity, you see what we're selling, you see that we are 100% unequivocally the evolution of solar sales. You give me a lie detector that says, I will pass it, and we're proving it. We have our launch event tomorrow. Tonight it starts. Tomorrow's a big day. We have the people making, Sam, before I even get into that, how many times have you heard in the pre-launch of a gentleman making 6 figures in a month, not from overrides, not from residual, from his own efforts from home via Zoom? Never been done before. Now,
been done now though.
Never been done before till right now. We'll get copycats. That's cool. That's cool. That's a part of the game, right? But we'll get haters too. Guess what I say to that? A dog doesn't bark at a parked car, right?
Right.
A dog doesn't bark at a parked car. You're moving. You're going to get people that criticize you, people that say this. That's cool. We welcome them. Matter of fact, we won't even block them. You know why? Because we want them to see our success.
Yeah, you always have people like, we have open air millionaire mentorship calls, training calls. People can find everything that we do, teach and train, and they're learning, our secret sauce, but they're not making it with love. And so you have people who have already changed their comp plan. If you notice, people already changed their comp plan. They've already changed how they've structured their company. They already changed their offerings based on what we offer. And so, but that's a compliment to us. But the one thing, it's kind of like, I'm a Green Bay Packer fan, right? And the great Vince Lombardi, who taught other coaches from other teams willingly. You know what I'm saying? John Madden and everybody, people who thought they knew it all, they realized they didn't know nothing until they got into class with him. So he ran plays that everybody knew what he was going to run. And he would even scream to his team, run it again in a game. And then the team is looking at him like, Coach, they hear you. He's like, I know, but they don't practice this every day.
Wow.
You do. So they going to steal everything we got, but they won't do everything we do.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Yeah. I love that, man. That's very cool. That's very cool. No, yeah, man. Listen, it's exciting. So anyways, when we know, we will, in the next 5 years, my prediction is this, and I'm not making any income claims. I'm telling you a goal and a vision. We have a goal and a vision that we are firmly convinced that we will hit within the next 5 years. We'll have $1 million per month earner, at least one. That is so if any government agencies are watching, that is not an income claim. This is a goal, an ambition. Okay, I want to clear that up because we live in a crazy world these days, man.
Right.
So here's the deal. So we know that we're going to have people make a lot of money. Fair enough. But how many times have we seen people go out there in real estate, in network marketing, in insurance, in solar, etc., whatever, crypto, make a whole bunch of money, 5 years, fast forward 5-10 years, and they're broke. Or they're near broke. You know why? Because they didn't have the financial education.
Yeah.
So Sam, tell me what you feel about the Smart Money Club that we offer.
Well, first of all, I've actually learned to appreciate the program based on the fact that I grew up on welfare. I grew up on public housing, government assistance, hand-me-downs, recycling cans and bottles. I said bottles, so y'all know how old I am now. Anything and everything that a kid could have, I didn't. And so the one thing I didn't have that I wish I had was financial philosophies, but I grew up with poor people. So when it came to my parents, nobody was there to teach me how to be wealthy. So my first million, and that we made in real estate, I squandered because I celebrated, I shopped, I spent, I traveled, I lived the lifestyle, and then all of a sudden something out of my control happened when the industry shut down on us. The bubble, bust on us in 2008. I lost 3 companies at one time, and so because I wasn't prepared, mentally, with the knowledge and wisdom of money and economics. I didn't have, a stash. I didn't have a surplus. I didn't have a bank account. I didn't have other investments. I didn't have a reserve. I didn't have any of those things, to bail me out and buy me time. So I ended up having to start all over again. And this time when I started over with a person who had, all the wisdom that we offer. And so I was groomed by, somebody who has, wealth philosophies that I adopted. Right. And so now when I made the money, I was able to keep it. I was able to, we was just talking, like I said, off script, off camera, with David. And we're just talking about, when you actually have money and it's taken from you, it's like your creator saying, I gave you the skills, to earn income and empower people, but you're abusing it, so I'm gonna take it away from you. So I'm gonna give you an opportunity to get it back, but I'm not gonna let you start where you stop. You're gonna have to come way down, do your way back up so you can appreciate it more. But this time, when I got it back the second time, I learned how to spend that time wisely, spend that money, invest that money wisely. So when hard times came again, man, we had money coming from all over the place. Right. Different investments, different platforms, different businesses, different everything, different entities, to buy us time. And so, and keep us in a good, safe place. So I love the fact that now when we put people in a position where they can make a lot of money, they now know how to sustain it. They now know how to grow it. They now know how to diversify. They now know how to create legacy wealth. And now, most importantly, they're learning things that they can teach their kids and their grandkids. Yep. I mean, that's the thing that when you look at the wealth of the wicked, it was passed down to the poor. Like it's not being passed down like a hand-me-down. It's being passed down through knowledge and wisdom, because the wealth of the wicked is in books, right? Is in wisdom. Yep. So it's not in a hand-me-down.
I like it. No, it's true. It's true. And it also, as you're talking, I remembered something I heard a long time ago, right? That the richest place in the world is a cemetery. It's not the oceans, it's not the mountains, it's a cemetery, because that's where people go. They die with their ambitions, with their goals, their abilities that they never gave life to because they were too afraid to give life. They were too afraid to fail, right? So the richest place in the world is a cemetery. So while we're here, I believe that our talents and our abilities are the Creator's gift to us, and what we do with them is our gift to Him. And so yes, again, through this company, and not only this company, there's a lot of great companies out there, right? We're going to offer people a big opportunity, but what the Smart Money Club does to set people aside is give them, as you mentioned, that financial literacy, the stuff that the rich teach their kids that most of us didn't have access to that. And it starts, for example, with your credit. There's a credit repair software. There's a company in network marketing. I respect them. I was actually a part of that company in 2008. They changed their name since then. They have a credit repair service, right? And they have other services as well. We offer in the Smart Money Club just about everything that company offers, but with so much more. This is just our Smart Money Club, right? So it starts with the credit. It starts with how to be your own bank, where we have licensed professionals doing the education for this group of people in their own community, where they could ask a question, set themselves up, find out, here's where I am, here's where I want to be, this is my retirement age, this is my goal, am I on track? Right. And a software that's going to show them, yes, you are, no, you're not. And in order to get there, here's what you got to do. You got to make this much money and put this much money away into this vehicle in order for you to get to your destination by the time you want to get to the destination. Because if you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. So this system shows people what they're doing. Also, like when I was 30, I made my first million. Ask me where that million's gone, bro. It's gone. I have no idea where. I'll tell you a funny thing.
Went to.
When I was 30, bro. Yeah, exactly.
Away.
When I was 30, bro, my wife and I had just started dating, right? And shortly after, she got pregnant. So she was one day in my house. I was making so much money at the age of 30. So that's a great age, but it's not a great age to come across a lot of money when you grew up in the hood and don't know what to do with all that doggone money. I would put the 5s, 10s, and 100s in a drawer next to my bed. One day, she says, I'm going to clean out your drawer. It was filled with 1s, 5s, 10s, 20s. Bro, the drawer was like this big, okay? You know, that deep. Take a guess how much money was in that drawer.
Probably about $100K.
Not that much, but 17,000.
Okay.
17,000 in ones, fives. Yeah. If it was 100s, it would have got there, right? Well, yeah, 20s, 50s, no hundreds, right? I kept the 50s and the 100s in my wallet on me. Everything, $20 and under, right? $17,000. I get his shit. You know how much money you have right here? How much? 17,000 and change. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, whoa. But my point is this. Fast forward a couple years after that. Did I put that money away into tax-free retirement, into money, into an account that cannot lose money, that will continue to increase over time with living benefits and et cetera, right? Did I have the proper entity set up so I can maximize my tax benefits? No. Did I even know the difference between assets and liabilities and what are the best ones for me, for my income, for the state that I live in? None of that stuff. And I know realtors that are top realtors at big companies, Century 21, Remax, top realtors. The ones that get the trophies that make the $500,000 a year or even $1 million a year. Some of those cats, bro, don't even have the proper entities. They get paid to their social security number. And then they're like, oh, snap, I owe all this money in taxes because they don't have that education, because we know that the school system is broken. The school system is an indoctrination system. They don't teach them. Think about it, man. A kid graduates from high school and they need to go and get a job. They don't even know how to put a resume together. They don't know how to apply for how to act in the interview. The basics that life teaches, the importance of good credit, none of that. So credit repair, credit building, and all these things that we talk about. It's not, Mr. Navarro and I were talking, and this was his words. He says, it's not enough to show people how to make $1 million a year and beyond. Right. We got to show them what to do with that money. We don't want to create rich people. We want to create wealthy people. When have you ever heard a company say that? Like, there's a lot of companies, we have a great product, we have a great opportunity, but that say we don't want to create rich people. We want to create wealthy people. Yes, we all want to make money. We're in this to make money. This is not a nonprofit. This is a business. But that's not enough. Make a lot of money, but build wealth. Build is the name of our company. Build your last downline. This is a last run club. Right. You don't have to build it again if you build it right with us. And we have the systems. All you just plug into the system, right? Make the money. Use the Smart Money Club, which is our part of our residual membership. $99 a month. Refer for, pay no more. I mean, the deal doesn't get better than that. How to build wealth. So anyways, that's what got us so excited. That's why the conviction that we have. And look, some people sometimes, and this happened to me, and this is kind of like a lesson, guys, and I'm going on a tangent here, and I know this, but I don't want to lose my train of thought. Sometimes in life, we feel like, man, am I ready? Am I good enough? Am I worthy? I think we've all felt that way. And I look around because we have an audience here, right? And I felt that way before. And I remember Mr. Navarro, my business partner. We've known each other since we were in our 20s. And he tells me I was 29 and he was 28. Either that or he was 27 and I was 28. You know, one of those years. He tells me, JC, you know, when we are in our 40s, we're going to be the owners of our own company. And I says to him, really, you think so? He says, of course. He says, by then we're going to have the contacts, we're going to have the credibility, we're going to have the knowledge, the skills, etc. We're going to have what we need to be there. Right. The funny thing is that he's now 40 and I'm now 41. And those words from 12, 13 years ago came to pass exactly as he said them. He manifested them back there. And the industry's changing. And guess what? There's always new CEOs and new founders coming on board. And sometimes a new perspective is needed, right? There's some people that, like, you know, they haven't evolved. The industry needs to evolve. Like, look at BlackBerry. BlackBerry died because it didn't evolve. The iPhone came and they said, no, people still want to feel the clicks. Okay, some people did, but you got to see. It's not about, yeah, exactly. You were one of those BlackBerry guys. he was stuck on that BlackBerry. He's like, no, I ain't letting go of this.
I was stuck on Crackberry, but I'll tell you.
But what happened is this. It's kind of like the Wayne Gretzky quote. Says, you don't send the puck, and I'm butchering it, I'm sure. You don't send the puck to where the player is. You send the puck to where the player's gonna be.
Right.
So we're sending the puck to where the industry is moving. And I think a lot of people that are so used to doing things the old way, the problem is that they're so stuck on the old ways and they're not willing to see, like, hey, you're becoming the BlackBerry, and we're telling you, you got to switch and become that iPhone, right? And I believe in one of my favorite quotes is this: when the silverback has more silver than back, it's time to move on, unless he wants to get moved on.
Right.
So what happens is this: it's not about, because they're older. No, I don't care how old you are, but evolve. You got to have we have a leadership council. You're a part of the leadership council.
Right.
We know that we don't see everything. Nobody sees everything.
Right.
But you see, so when you got top leaders in the industry at the top of their game saying, we're moving in the right direction, high ticket sales combined with residual income, team building, leadership systems, that is a wave of the future. And the evidence is there.
And you know, the thing about it is that the industry is going to get younger, and it's going to be dominated by people who are evolvers. You know, more and more people that I talk to who are quote unquote professional networkers, when they talking to me, or they talking, let me see, not just to me, because they know I don't do business like this, but what you see is every time they go to a company, they go to a company with their hand out.
Right.
And so they want something. They want a deal. They want some security. They want whatever it is they want. They want to do everything except for work. Right. Like you'll hear people, oh my God, yeah, man, this last company did me dirty. I'm just looking for a home. And if you look at that person's track record, 3 months ago, they was in a different company. 6 months ago, they was in another company. And 6 months before that, they was in another company. So they're not looking for a home. They're looking for a corporate house, a leasing, some temporary, all bills paid, fully furnished, you know what I'm saying, with incentives, right? And so, but it's like nobody wants to build it anymore. and then you have, again, that demographic of builders who don't know how to build it again.
Right.
And so for me, it's like, it's easy to build it again because you want to build it the first time. And so when you see what you're building and why you need to build it, you're happy to build it. I'm happy to build toward $250,000 a month, then $500,000 a month, then $1 million a month.
Right.
Because again, how do you know your future is because you're the one designing it and creating it.
Yes.
And so I've been taught by the best to design and create it. And so now I can do that and teach other people how to do it. And so y'all are giving us the platform to do it legitimately. This is a company that you don't really have to be, again, a leader, somebody who wants to go out here and build a big team. Like, a person can have a legitimate career here.
Yes.
Like, forget everything about every other part of the compensation plan. If you are a person who are willing to go get a deal and then one day become a mentor, you can make a flat out small fortune on your own. You can make $100,000 a month, or you can make $100,000 a year. Big or small, you can make it all from a career perspective. And then those people, honestly, will become your biggest builders because they are your walking, living, breathing billboards at that point in time. These are people who didn't come in to recruit, right? Their testimony is more powerful than people who did. So when you have, the Ed Ayalas who own companies and built, and he's a builder who's coming here, you expect him to be a person who dominates. But then when you have a person who comes in and didn't want to build at all, despised building. As a matter of fact, probably almost didn't get started in the company because they heard building, right?
Yeah.
But came in, made their own money, and then all of a sudden they realized that, man, this is a blessing.
Yep.
And then they start telling everybody their story. Next thing you know, they got a big, strong, a team that just continues to grow and perpetuate itself. So I love the dynamics of the company, how it's set up.
No, I love what you're saying, and it's so true, right? You said a mouthful there, and one of the things that caught my attention is when over 10 years ago, when we were both in the coffee business, but we were two different companies. A lot of times people say, "Oh, well, I'm not a builder, so I can make money here." That's cool, but here's the thing: everybody that's a builder, that's a big one's not a big leader, right? let's see if I remember the quote. It says, every big shot was once a little shot that kept on shooting, right? I remember when I got into the coffee business, I was never a big shot. I wasn't even considered a medium shot, right? I call them the A players, B players, and C players. A players are the six-figure earners above. The B players are the guys that are making $4,000 or $5,000 a month. A lot of times the B players that are making $4,000 or $5,000 a month are just as good as the A players. They just didn't get in at the right time, the right positioning, whatever or the wrong company, right?
And wrong leadership that suppressed them too.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Then you got the C players are the ones that, just the majority, right? That they haven't broke through. I was about a B player. One thing I learned from my mentor, he says, I'd rather work with B players. You know why? Because they have less ego than the A players. The A players tend to be the ones that maybe they were A players 5 years ago, 10 years ago. But now they come in with their hand out. I remember back then, I got started with that company. Bro, I had never made $100,000 a year. I said, I'll make $100,000 by my 9th month. On month 9, not accumulative. Month 9, I'll make no less than $100,000 that month. I had never even made that a year, bro. Not even 80 grand a year. And I'm talking about 9 months out. You know what it is? Proximity. Belief. It was a decision to stop, whining like before, to actually work, to make 50 phone calls a day minimum, to do. Most people don't know what it takes to win. That's the thing. Most people don't know what it takes to win. Because what it takes to win, especially in 2024, the information on what it takes to win in almost any industry is already available for free on YouTube. It's not about the how-tos. It's about what's inside here. It's 6 inches away, inside between your two ears. So I remember people coming to me back then and saying, oh, they wanted me to pay them to join. And I got so frustrated with people like that. I said, you know what I would do? I would pay you not to join. I'd rather give you money so you don't come back here anymore and ask me. I'd rather you not be a part of my team. I'd rather you not be a part of my company, because and that's a philosophy that we have here as well. When y'all did it over in the coffee company, you guys crushed it with a bunch of B players and C players. There was only a couple of A players.
That's all we really had.
Right.
And the goal was, because this is the thing, you made 6 figures in companies. Winston's has made 6 figures in different companies. There are a lot of different people who we actually have in the company already who made 6 figures in different companies. So what you do works. But what happens is when you have all these people who made 6 figures their way coming and joining the company at the same exact time, you have a whole lot of different philosophies and egos.
Right.
And anything that has more than one head is an abomination. So what you do is you take all the B players, right? People who are hungry, people who are passionate, people who see the vision and they believe in you, and then they follow the system. And then what happens is now you got people making $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a month that are attracting people in other companies who are making $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a month. And when they come over here, now they conform.
Yes.
Right? And so, because I love this, because now it doesn't matter what state we go into, we do business the same way in every state.
Right.
But in other companies, you didn't know, when you send your person to another market, you didn't know what they were going to learn, because they're learning from another leader who made $100,000 their way.
Right.
And so we do everything the same way, but we did it with a group of people. We're doing it with a group of people who want to do it the way.
Yes. And that, and I think also what helps is that the leadership here, right, has done it as recent as last year, right? Like the system, the 8-point system. Yeah. I've been doing that 8-point system, man, since 2020, bro. You know what I mean? In 2020 is when I started implementing with my team, and guess what? We became the number one team, I outsold everybody in the company, out-recruited everybody in the company, right? And I'm not tooting my horn here. I'm saying the system works, and our team was the number one producing team in the entire company because of a system. Here, from the top, from the company, the system that worked as recently as last year is kicking ass this year. For example, I can't wait for the recognitions, because you know what? One thing we're going to notice on the recognitions tomorrow, how many of those people getting recognized, bro, are following the system.
Right.
They are in our accountability group. Right. Success leaves clues. So yes, you've got to have the right system, and it's a very exciting time, man, to be a part of Build Network.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So when it comes to the high ticket sales arena, what gave you the idea to really marry the high ticket sales arena and network marketing? What was it about the high ticket sales arena that really puts you on that path?
Yeah, so to backtrack a little bit, in 2018, my wife and I were worth over 7 figures. We were very comfortable. We had multiple streams of income, multiple 6-figure income streams. mainly passive income in 2018. In 2019, I lost almost everything. And I borrowed money from my youngest brother, $10,000. We're just in the worst financial situation that we've ever been in. So I'm putting context to the story, right? My wife, up to that day, had never worked since we've been together. I remember one day, financially, just things were tough, right? Lost a lot of money in the crypto market as well. It was just a mess. Right. And our son, Maximus, goes to sleep, and I ask her to meet me in the living room. So we meet in the living room, and I said, I need to talk to you. She was worried. She actually thought I was going to give her some other kind of, I don't know what kind of news, but she, because the way
Didn't sound good.
Didn't sound good. So I said, financially, we're in a bad situation. I'm going to need you to hit the field again. Those were my words, because she used to do home security, door-to-door sales before we met. ADT Home Security, which we now offer home security. That's another product that I believe in, because you'll hear in the story. She said, okay, she worded it up, and you've heard this story before. She went door knocking, man. It took her about 2 weeks to get on the field, right? She was kind of getting ready to get ready and stuff, but finally 2 weeks later, she hits the field. First month, Sam, makes over $8,000 her first month door knocking, selling home security door to door. That helped us out tremendously. She brought an extra $8,000. I'm looking at her chest. I'm like, wait, whoa. How much money do you make per sale? So she tells me 500, 600, sometimes $700. And I'm thinking, and sometimes she'd make 3 sales in a day, bro. And I was like, my wife is a warrior. So I said, and at the time, there was a company I was with that's still around now. This guy bought it. When he bought it, a bunch of us that had our checks, he just kicked us out. He says, take me to court. But if you're not working the business, I'm cutting your residual check. But we have the qualifications. Kicked us out. So what were we going to do? Like small bank, take little bank, right? This guy's rich. So most people, as far to my knowledge, everybody just kind of let it go. So I got started. A friend of mine was starting a company, and I wasn't sure because the technology was exciting, but it was it's technology, right? It was an app. And I was like, man, if this works, I'm going to do very well. If it doesn't work, I'm going to get in a further hole. So I get started with him for a couple of months while he's trying to get it off the ground, and he doesn't get it off the ground. It just needed too much money and too many things. So I say to him, I'm going to go and do something else because I got to make money, bro. So I talked to my wife. I said, hey, I want to go to your office tomorrow. I want to learn the pitch, and I'm going to sell security door to door. So I go with my wife, and I learn the script, and she takes me, and I shadow her the first day. And she shows me a sale within 30 minutes. And she was even kind of like saying, hey, this is not normal. You normally don't get a sale within 30 minutes. But she got a sale, and I'm like, how much you make on that sale? She said, about $500. I said, in the first 30 minutes, you made $500. And we still got a couple hours to go. I said, shoot, I could do this. So the next day, we go, and I shadow her half the time. The other half I knock, I don't get a deal. The following day, the third day, was a Saturday. We were supposed to go together, but it's either her mom or my mom that take care of our son. None of them were available. So I said, you stay home. I'm going to go knock. She said, you sure? I was like, I already heard you. If anything, I'm going to go get experience. Right. So I remember parking, bro, in the street in Downey, California, which, by the way, later she tells me no experienced door knocker knocks her because it's been knocked so much, by the way. But I don't know what I don't know. Right. That's important to know. So I park, and I get out, and I get right in the middle of this residential street, beautiful street, trees, a bunch of trees all along the left and the right. And I remember saying to myself out loud, there's a family or two here that need what I'm looking for, and I'm going to find them. And I said, as Jim Rohn says, make up in numbers what you lack in skill. Right. So in this case, I'm making up in numbers what I lack in experience, because I got skills to sell and talk. So I said, I'm going to power walk. If a person would normally knock 100 doors in these next 4 hours, I'm going to knock 150 doors. I'm going to power walk. I'm going to walk across the grass so I can make sure that I hit as many homes as possible, but I'm leaving here with the best possible outcome. Long story short, I make a sale, made about $500. And I call her, and I tell the client, and I'm kind of being long-winded on this story, but it'll make sense. I tell the client, we just got a new system, so I need a call. I need a little bit of help because we just changed the system. I didn't know how to put an application in, bro. Right. But I said, we just changed the system. So I'm going to call my manager. I say, hi, Mrs. Rangel, right? Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. So she knows. And I was like, yeah. So this new system that we've got, I'm here with the customer, so we're good at, Oh, she was surprised. She helps me. We get the sale. Long story short, when I get home, she says, you know what's impressive? I said, what? She says, an experienced door knocker will not go to that area because it's been hit so much. They will prejudge that area. I said, you know what's interesting? I didn't know any better. So to me, I expected to get a sale.
Right.
A lot of times it's in the mind. So anyways, I was like, I got to do something with home security because there's a lot of money in this. I started, bro. I told her, I'm going to outsell you and I'm going to outsell everybody in this company. Within 3 months, I outsold everybody except for the owner. The owner is 20-year veteran, still door knocks till this day because he makes like 50 grand a month selling home security door knocking, bro.
That's a bad man.
So that's the only dude I didn't beat. Everybody else I beat to the point where it got a little competitive between my wife and I. She got mad at me once. That's a funny story now, right? But I remember thinking solar's the next deal because some of my home security friends got into solar. I'm making like 8 grand a month, 10 grand a month. They're making 30, 40 grand a month, 50 grand a month, 60 grand a month. Yeah. And they told me, bro, trust me, the next evolution for door knockers is solar. Somebody tells me there's a solar company that's already doing it with the team building structure. I said, show me. So I looked, I'm like, it is. I got started with that company. Keep this in mind. 2 weeks after the worldwide pandemic started. So 2 weeks after the worldwide, late March 2020 is when I get started. My first year, 7,000 people, I outsold everybody. Because I built the biggest team, I became a closer. I'm closing all of my people's leads. So these 12-year solar veterans are like, what are you doing, bro? How are you closing so many sales? I'm like, I'm not necessarily better than you. I don't think I'm a better solar sales guy than you, but I got better leads and more of them. You're selling to cold leads. I'm selling to the mom, dad, and brother and brother-in-law. And so I sold 116 deals my first year. And because we built the biggest team. And I was hoping that company would add more aspects of the residual income, more friendly on the team building side. And they were just a direct sales company, and good for them. I wish them well. They're a good company. And I was waiting, Sam, for somebody to start this. Then my buddy Wences says to me, hey, I've been watching you for the last 3 years. I have been building my life insurance business, and it's a great business, but I see what you've done in those 3 years. And I see my last 3 versus your last 3. Why don't we start our own deal? And I said, you serious about this? He said, bro, I'm serious. The time for me is now. The time for you is now if you're open. But I don't know the solar game. You know it. Both of us together and our contacts, we could do something special. I said, you know what? I'll let you know. I'm not sure. Keep in mind, I'm making $500,000 a year easy, chilling. 24 hours a week I'm working. So I'm not really in a position where I'm like needing money and my income is growing. So I'm kind of thinking, I got a nice little situation here. Long story short, some things happen. I pray about it. In this office, I come here and I'm shooting a podcast. And this is his office. This is Wence's office. So it's been his office. And then because of some things that have happened, some chinks in the armor that I saw, I say to him, hey, were you serious about that conversation? He says, yes. I said, let's go to lunch. Let's talk about it. Long story short, last year, we started putting this thing together. And I knew and I said 2 years ago, the first company that puts network marketing, team building, residual income with high ticket sales is going to be the next boom. And I predicted, check this out. There's a video on YouTube, Sam, that is still up now from 2010. And I said the next boom, 2009. I said the next boom in network marketing, 2009 is coffee. 2009, I said it. Ain't that right? Not the case. What did you and OG did? You and all those guys in OG did. You guys crushed it.
We blew it up.
You guys blew it up.
They laughed at us. And we laughed all the way to the bank.
Yep. And I mentioned there, the internet boom was in the early 2000s. In about around the same time, Monavie, a couple years earlier, like 2004, 5, Monavie was a boom. They said pills are they don't absorb. Juice absorbs better, and it's a sexy product. They had a good system, good leaders. They boomed. Then the coffee, I said, these coffee guys are selling, this is an addiction. It's cheaper. It's easier to sample. 7 out of 10 people already drink coffee. The next boom is in coffee. What happened? The next boom was in coffee. Then I rode the coffee boom. I made a lot, not as much as you guys did, but I made a lot of money. I wasn't with the same company either. So the next boom came from trading because a trading company like IML, Wealth Generators, now known as iGenius, these companies came out and said, hey, listen, with this product, you don't have to sell. You don't have to recruit to make money. As a customer, you make money. So they attracted a whole bunch of people. They had a little bit of a unique comp plan that back then was exciting. Now, not so. The chinks in the armor have been found in that comp plan. So they've even changed the comp plan a lot. Sure enough, the trading boom happened. I rode the coffee boom and I rode the trading boom. But the funny thing is I rode the coffee boom and the trading boom when not the biggest companies that boomed. OG's are one that boomed the most, and IML in their prime. You had studs like Alex Morton, David. You had what's the other guy's name? The Latino cat, Ivan, right? Those cats blew that thing up, right? It was a boom in the time. What's the next boom? And I said 2 years ago, the next boom, high ticket sales, particularly solar and network marketing. And now if they could add a couple of the other high ticket verticals, that's the next boom. You mark my words. This is all time stamped. The next boom in network marketing is high ticket sales with network marketing, and we're proving it as we speak right now.
You and I had a conversation about what I was doing actually right before I joined Build, and I personally was starting my own high ticket sales company. I had already paid $10,000 for a mentor. I already paid $5,000 for the system, and I was going through the process, and they were teaching me everything. And then someone brought Build to me. Didn't know anything about solar from a business perspective. But when I started seeing the presentation, she put me on the phone with Hans, banker, right? Big money guy. He understands, he speaks my language of economics, and I love what he was talking about. And so then he puts me on the phone with you, right? Yep. And then we hit it off. And then you gave me the layers of what was going on and how big this thing is going to be. And, I remember coming here, to Downey for the pre-launch. And I'm like, this thing is a little bit bigger than what I thought it was going to be. And then, I remember calling my wife saying, babe, I'm going to have to stay another night. They may actually have their hands on something here. Mm-hmm. And so then we had the dinner the next night. So, Winston's, Checo's, yourself, a couple other people, Idris, there was there as well. And then we really started getting deep into, what the company is, what it's going to be, and how I can actually play a part in it. And I just told my wife, I said, look, everything I was about to do, the projects I was working on, we're going to have to put these on hold and pause everything because right now, because I personally, I prioritize my income potential. Right. And so when I look at something and it looks like deja vu for me, coffee, but on steroids, right? Coffee, but on big ticket. Yep. You know what I mean? And it's something that, the government is pushing. It's something that people are waking up to. I'm at the forefront of it again. I'm not about to miss this. And so big ticket for me, again, I was and that's the thing. Had she said just solar, it would have missed me. Right. But she said solar and big ticket triggered me. Right? Yes. And so that's what kind of got my attention. It wasn't solar. Right. It was a big ticket that got my attention. And then I learned about solar and figured out there's a lot of wealth that's about to be created in this situation, but it won't be created without me.
I love it. And you and I have a unique, a similar perspective in this. In conversations that I've had with you, you've mentioned that you prefer to work when building a business with new people versus network marketers very often. Tell me about that.
When you have experienced network marketers, what happens is you have to deal with egos. You have to deal with people who want to do things their way. They don't want to plug into the system. They feel like they know everything already. They don't want to get on the calls. They don't want to come to the events. Right. It's like pulling teeth. It's like you got to beg a person to save their life. Yeah. And when you have people who are very, very, they're like sponges because they want to know how to get to the top. They've never been to the top. So what you'll find is that people who were B players, C and B players, C players with inspiration, C players with vision, B players with inspiration, but they were suppressed by their past leadership because the leaders didn't want them to pass them up or catch up to them. When you run across people like that, they're hungry, ambitious, and they're very coachable, teachable, and trainable. They take every note, they master every lesson, they make every sacrifice. You can build something special with people like that. And you'll invest all your time, energy, and effort in those people. Yep. And because you're going to get a return on them. Like even in this situation here, I've already brought people in who are quote unquote experienced network marketers that have already quit. Right. Before they got started. Mm-hmm. Right. And it's like because they're distracted. 1, 2, they're lazy. Yep. Right. They just don't want to build it again. They want something for nothing. For me, I'd rather build it from scratch organically, where I know for a fact that somebody offering you another check is not going to, make you leave. The fact that you now built something organically with your own hands for the first time in your life that you can respect and appreciate, you'll stay here and you're protected.
Yes.
Network marketers are not going to do that.
Right.
Brand new people who you're working with, who are coming off the street, who may be a realtor, who may be, somebody who does landscaping, who may be somebody who may have been a roofer. I love partnering with people like that, who are not network marketers. But when they get into this situation and this high ticket sales side, they'll learn everything they need to learn to go out there and build everything they want to build.
I love it.
So I love it.
And, when you mention network marketers, it's very rare to find a network marketer, a network marketing leader that can duplicate their success twice, much less 3 times. And a lot of times is because their ego is so big that they're not willing to do the things that they did to get them to the dance. What were the things I remember I had a partner once, bro. In 2001, my first company, he was one of the big wigs there, making 6 figures a month, driving a Lamborghini and all that stuff. He never got close to even doing that again. But I worked with him a couple of companies, and he would always talk about the story of back then and what he didn't realize is that he was talking about how hard he worked and how many calls he made and how many meetings he did. And I'm like, but you're not doing that now, bro. Right. You're not going to get to where you got the first time because you're not even doing it right now.
Right.
It doesn't make sense. It boggles my mind how a lot of people just don't get it. And it's their ego gets too big, right? Oh, I've had some success, so therefore I don't need. That's one of the things that I attribute my success to, is that I was willing to roll my sleeves up and make the phone calls, humble myself and make the phone calls, because I knew what got me there, and it takes discipline to do that. And a lot of people are just not willing to do that. Oh, what am I going to get? What about me? What about no? Listen, bro, you got to pay the price up front and in full. There's no layaway. There's no credit. Let's get to work, right?
And think about it. You also set an example for the people who are coming on board. We always hear these people say, I got started network marketing because I want to help people. And, I've been taught, that you can't help a person if you're not the prototypical business model in front of their very eyes. If you're not doing what they need to do to be successful in front of their eyes, then you can't help them. Right. Right. And so when I look at, the very last deal I did before I started opening up my own, high ticket sales company, I launched it, in my first 30 days, made $100,000. And I made $100,000 with people who were not experts. And so what I did was we had a system going, we had a presentation going every day, 5 days a week. And I had somebody that was brand new doing the presentation. It wasn't me. I started off doing the presentations for the first 2 or 3 weeks. And then I ended up having and featuring a brand new builder or a brand new trainer or a brand new presenter doing a presentation every day. And so that filled up every call, because when you do the presentation, you're going to invite. Okay, you might not invite for me, but you'll invite for you. Right. You'll promote. You'll make sure everybody else promote. Well, you got 5 brand new people that are doing a presentation who's never had the spotlight, never had the limelight, never had the recognition, right? They're going to build it. They're going to invite people. So those calls stayed packed. People stayed coming on board. People stayed invested. It was just a really solid situation. So that's why me personally, going back to what we talked about a moment ago, I love working with new people who are grateful for the opportunity to work with me. And so I love it, because I remember me being grateful to work with, my last mentor over the years. Right. Okay? And so I'm like, people can even recruit me from another company to another company because, my mentor was so great. You know what I'm saying? So like, if I'm not leaving a company, I'm leaving a mentor. So who do you have at that company that can mentor me? Right. Correct. That can replace this guy. Right. So here it is now, I'm creating the same environment, same culture for my team. I'm pouring into them, growing them, developing them, highlighting them, recognizing them, celebrating them, going on trips, with these people every year. And they're loving, the environment. They're loving the culture, and they're being groomed for success, long-term success in a family environment. So that's the type of environment that you get organically that you can't get with expert network marketers. Now, don't get me wrong, there are some really good, high-quality expert network marketers that'll build it again. Yes. Right? But that's a rarity. Right. But even the ones that won't build it, you still need them as a necessary evil, because when they come through, when you expect them to leave, but when they come through, everybody will hear that they're here, and they're just going to bring another batch of people. And when they leave, that batch of people that came, they'll stay. Yes. So you can still use them, but I'm not building, around them as if they're going to be, the pillar or foundation of my wealth and my future.
I love it. That's very true. And you're one of those leaders that have built it from scratch again. You're one of those leaders and stuff. And I've done that as well. And, you learn, because I think a good entrepreneur also is good at observing. They're good entrepreneurs because they observe what works and what doesn't work. And I study people that have done it over and over. I'm like, and one thing that's consistent, they're willing to do it again. I talk about Big Mo and Lady Luck, right? Big Mo is momentum. Lady Luck favors the bold and the brave, right? You want to have Big Mo and Lady Luck by your side. Yeah. Big Mo is momentum. Momentum is the hardest thing to get and the easiest thing to lose, but it takes the consistency and persistency with a great attitude, consistently done over time, over an extended period of time. So you got to be consistent and persistent over an extended period of time with a great attitude, following the proper system, and people will be scared not to follow you. You build the momentum, which is now you got Big Mo by your side. And then guess what? Lady Luck favors the bold and the brave. So you got to be bold. So when we say these things, we're rebuilding the industry. That is a bold statement. Yeah. Guess what? I got Lady Luck and Big Mo by my side, right? And we got people like you. We're attracting people like you. We're attracting people like the Ed Ayalas and the Julio Aquinos and some of these other leaders that, bro, those guys, they could spot through BS right away. They could spot through a Me Too company. This is not a Me Too company.
Me Too company and Me Too people.
Exactly, bro. Exactly. Yeah. So
you look at momentum. Momentum is, and I'm gonna tell you the reason why most people in the industry lose momentum is because as soon as they get it, they stop and they read their press.
Right.
They stop and they celebrate. They stop, pat themselves on the back, and while they're patting themselves on the back, celebrating themselves, beating their chest, the momentum is going down and going away.
Right.
And my old mentor used to always tell me, if you find a person that's out there, buying their own press, is because nobody else is buying it. Right. And so, what you need to do is go out there and just build it and let other people sell your press. And that way you always make a fortune. You'll never lose momentum. And then when it comes to luck, laboring under correct knowledge, the one thing that everybody's missing is the laboring part. You got some lazy people out there, bro.
Yeah.
Everybody's got access to the information, but nobody's got the will to go out there and work it.
That's right. But yeah, man, this was a great conversation, Sam, and I'm very glad that we were able to have this. And, we could talk for hours. So, but we're, I'm sure we'll get on the podcast again and do it again, man.
Yeah, this is the beginning of our journey, bro. I'm just happy to be a part of it. And I'm glad we got a chance to sit down and have this moment before the big event. I know for a fact that it's going to be cut up and it's going to be sent out there to the cyberspace. We're about to break the internet. That's right. So let's go out there and break records.
My guy. Appreciate it, brother.
Thank you, man. Baby.